Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to be talking about the ups and downs to, like, the pros and the cons to piercings and tattoos. So I'm 27 right now. When I was 16, I got this side of my lip pierced. And then when I was 18, I got this side of my lip pierced. You know, I was really scared to get my lips pierced. I mean, I wasn't scared because I really wanted them, but I'm terrified of needles. But I really wanted to get them, so yeah, it's scary. But it's totally worth it, I think. It does not hurt. Well, I mean, at least it didn't to me. And some people, it's different. I had the middle one done too, so I had all three. But unfortunately, that brings us to our first con. About 3 years ago, I got my middle lip pierced, and it got infected, like, within the second day. But it was probably under circumstances I couldn't take care of it that well. And yeah, I got this side a little irritated, so I had to take that one out. But it was really worth it, you know? The middle one, it did hurt, but these ones, it didn't hurt. People are always like, does it hurt? Not really. You just feel a pinch, and then it's over. But yeah, it did swell up. What you need to do is they'll probably give you a guideline of rules that you have to follow in order to keep it healthy and not get infected. But for me, it was pretty simple. But I had them done professionally, so I paid $50 for each. So you could probably get it cheaper, but I got it done professionally because, you know, you can't trust some of the markets out there. And I would recommend, the most sensitive spot that I've heard is the nipples. But the pros is that they look really cool. And that's why I got them, because they looked really cool. And it's so cool, and it's so creative to, like, be able to change out your jewelry and it matches your outfit. You can change it out, mix it up. The cons is that it gets infected if you don't take good care of it, which could be damaging to your lips and could be damaging to your mouth. But as long as you keep on top of it, it'll be good. And then tattoos. The cons, like, the pros is that they look really cool and they can be creative and expressed in different ways. And the cons is, like me, another con, I got someone's name tattooed on my stomach, and I regretted it from years ago. But it costs money to get it on, but it costs even more money to get it removed. And it's a lot more painful. So just be careful what you get on your body. Or you can mix it up and do over it. But, like, for me, I have this tattoo. It represents autism, and I'm a Pisces. So I got Pisces scales. That one was a really good one. That was my first one. And then I got another one down here on my stomach of my ex, which was really stupid. Because it's going to be there forever. But half the time I forget about it anyway. I don't even notice it's there. So I'm thinking about putting an S on the end of it. Because the person I was with was named Jared. And I'm thinking about putting an S on it and putting a diamond, like, so it looks like it's a diamond with a Jared's over it. So maybe it could represent fucking the jewelry store, you know? Because they got nice fucking diamonds, because they do. So that's what I'm thinking. So you can actually go over it, or you can have it removed, or just not get it at all. But I am thinking about getting more tattoos, which is really good, and getting some more piercings, maybe, but definitely tattoos. I want to get more up here. But that's the pros and the cons to that. And you got to be careful, because some of these places that you go into, they don't always sanitize their needles, so it could be very bad and could really mess up your arm or wherever you get it tattooed on. The most sensitive spot I've heard of that is probably the chest or the lower leg. But I've this one, it bled, but it was pretty decent because it was uncomfortable, but it was kind of like an uncomfortable sensation. You know, they always say in most cases, if you get a tattoo, you always want to get more. And I got one, and then I got another one, and then I'm like, I want more. So, always clean your piercings. Always follow the steps. Like, I've wanted these forever, and my mom didn't want me to get them because she didn't think they looked normal, because my mom's like 50, and no, she's like 63, and at the time she was like in her 50s, so she, and her from her age, this was considered silly, in a way, so then she let me get them, so that was a blessing, but it was, it's pretty cool, you know. The cons to these is that they can get ripped out, or they can get tangled in something. Like, I wear the full hoop with the ball connecting them, because God forbid I wear the horseshoes with the 2 balls too, and God forbid you kiss somebody with the same ones, they get fucking tangled up, or, you know, you do something and you get caught on it. God forbid, don't ever kiss anyone with braces with those on. You might sometimes get them caught if they're like sharp and jagged, because they have the ones with the balls and the ones with the spikes. I used to have the balls on top and the spikes at the bottom. Yeah, but mine are 14 gauge, so 14 gauge is, hold on, I'll be right back. No, I'll just take y'all with me. So, I'm going to show you guys what the needle looked like of what they stuck through my lip. This. I almost played ping pong right there with the wall. So, sorry about that. This needle see how big that is? That's what this is about the size they do it. They take your lip, they clamp it, they go like this, and then they put the piercing through. But that is how big my needle hole is. That's how big the hole is for my lips. Maybe just a hint bigger. But that's a 14 gauge. About. Maybe. Because it goes, and in case you didn't know, you guys, the lower the number of gauge it is, the bigger the hole is going to be. So, let's say mine are 14 gauge. If I would have got a 16 gauge, it would be just a little bit, the hole would be a little bit smaller. The higher the gauge, the smaller the hole. Which when I was young, I used to think the higher the gauge, the bigger the hole. But no, that's not the case, because there's some people with ones like the size of my pinky, and that would be probably considered a 0 gauge right there. But, like, if I was to get this through my nose, that would probably be a 0 gauge compared to a 16 gauge. So this would probably be a 1 gauge, and this would be like a 16 gauge. But it's crazy, you know. What's cool about these is if you get like 14 gauge, let's say, for me 14 gauge, and then you get higher gauge, it doesn't matter because the hole's a certain size. The higher, then if you can go from 14 and up, if you don't like the size of it, you can just go put a 16 gauge in, and then eventually the hole will close up. But the longer you have it in, the longer it takes to close up the hole. If you keep it in for a long time, then it takes a little bit longer for it to close back up. But if you get it right away, and then you take it out, that's the worst thing you can do. And when you get it, when you first get them, in case you haven't noticed, once you first get them, don't be moving them around. because then it starts to irritate it. And, but it's totally worth it, I think. For me, it was. So no, these did not hurt me. It's different for each person, but most of the people who say it didn't hurt, and I was always scared myself, so when I got them, I was like, this is a piece of cake. Yeah, it scared me half to death because I hate needles, but I still got through it, you know. But all is good, you know. But just follow the steps, you know, that they give you. If they don't give you, you just gargle with salt water. Make sure you clean it. Don't be moving it around, or don't be touching it. You know, make sure it doesn't move as much as possible. Just keep it still. And follow the steps. For tattoos, you want to make sure it doesn't hit anything when it scabs up. You don't want to peel the scab off. Because that was also a con to mine. Because this is my first tattoo I got when I was 16. So I got it peeled off. No, when I was 18, sorry. And I peeled off a little piece because it was bothering me. And as you can see, it's a little bit jagged and stuff. It's not all, like, clean. But it's pretty good. It peels off some of the color. If you peel off the scab, you have to let it scab up. You have to let it heal up. And then, yeah. And it's always going to fade. It'll look fucking... excuse my French, YouTube, please. This was... Like, when I first got this, it looked fresh. It looked 3D, like, literally. It's supposed to be a puzzle piece, and when you lift it up, underneath, it's all Pisces scales, because I'm a Pisces. My birthday's February 27th. So, hello to all you Pisces. But, yeah. Don't peel off the scab. Let it scab up and heal up on its own, because if you peel off the scab, it peels off part of the color. And then you shall be Gucci. But, thank you for watching this video. I hope it helped. Don't be scared to try new things, but do it with safety. Especially with all this pandemic. And I wouldn't recommend doing it yourself. You can do it yourself and succeed, but most of the time you could either hit a nerve or hit something that you shouldn't, and it'll bleed even more. But I hope this helped anybody. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. I'm just starting in the YouTube industry, so I'm working my way up to new, better content. It's just